This is me. This is my beloved wife, Sylvia. This is Sylvia's idea of sailing. This is my dream of sailing and my hope of circumnavigating the globe as a retirement project in 2029. This is Sylvia's reaction to that idea.
What? He's got a plan.
I am on a 6-year quest to convince Sylvia that a circumnavigation is a wonderful adventure, but the clock is ticking, so join me as I search for the perfect yacht that Sylvia will love, and get all your ladies to subscribe and cheer Sylvia on in the comments. Welcome back to Naval Gazing at Camp David. This week we are heading to the yards of Knysna Yacht Company for a future yacht episode and a virtual tour of their new generation flagship, the Knysna 550 2.0. Today, we will 1. Review its specifications, pricing, and layout against 3 similar new vessels. 2. Do a full tour asking, what would Sylvia say? 3. Naval gaze and an innovation and or an adjustment that might make life aboard just a little easier. 4. Have a look at the used market for 3 to 5-year-old comparables. And 5. Give it a Dave score and compare the result with all our previously reviewed yachts. As always, all this fun will be sandwiched between a pairing of a wine and a work of art from the same region as the guest yacht, in an effort to capture the culture and people who gave birth to these wonderful vessels. Waves, wine, art, and ideas. What a civilized way to spend 30 minutes, so let's get going. From high above Vancouver, we head west all the way to Vietnam and the yards of Triac Composites Company, home of last week's guest yacht, the Rapido 40. From here, we continue southwest to South Africa and the yards of the Knysna Yacht Company to take a virtual tour of the beautiful 550. Finally, we hop west again to the vineyards of Glencarlo and our wine pairing, Glencarlo Cabernet Sauvignon 2020. Glencarlo's vineyards are located less than 15 minutes from Stellenbosch. The 145-hectare property falls within the Simborg Pearl region of South Africa's Western Cape Province. Of the current 31 blocks planted, reaching up to 230 meters above sea level, each is nurtured according to its own unique location. The vineyards benefit from the cold southern wind which blows off False Bay. This almost daily phenomenon enables our Chardonnay and Pinot Noir to grow particularly well as the cooler night temperatures preserve the grapes' natural acidities and all important pH levels. Significant investments have been made in the vineyard since 2016, and the change in ownership of the property back into South African hands. Extensive soil mapping was completed to embrace precision farming further. Among several innovative and data-driven practices undertaken was the installation of soil probes. These read the soil moisture content back to the viticulturist every 30 minutes. With this advanced approach to soil science, there is a direct link to water and electricity cost savings as irrigation is reduced. The nose on the Glencarlo Cabernet Sauvignon 2020 indicates impressive blackcurrant aromas with an intriguing and evolving combination of cherry and cigar box notes.
Oh, you're definitely going to like that. Let's go have a look at that boat. Cheers.
Looking at the exterior, this is an attractive boat, and you will see some of the differences here. You'll recall perhaps Private Island, the first 550, but that was 550 1.0, and honestly, they have done an absolutely brilliant job of updating the look and feel of this yacht. Those beautiful vertical windows that eliminate that greenhouse effect inside. They've removed the flybridge completely. They've installed a fly lounge. They've created a bulkhead-mounted mid-helm, which is absolutely outstanding. Looking at Design 1.0, you'll see the rake on that forward windshield, which one would think would make it look a little sleeker, but it doesn't. It actually makes it look a little dated, and the update that they have done to the new forward windshield is outstanding. And at the same time, the aft pillar on the bimini top there, it rakes backwards, and you'll see a different angle on the new design of the cabin top, which I think is absolutely splendid. There, you'll see it rakes forward with a little angle to the aft windshield. Everything looks so much better in this new design. And certainly with that wonderful fly lounge and that mid-helm, I think it is a total step upward. Here's a look at Private Island, the outside of Private Island, just so that you can have another quick look at the differences here. And then here we can see the new design. What a fabulous improvement to the entire look and feel of this boat. Okay, moving on to new comparables. We are looking at the Lagoon 55, the Privilege 510, the Majestic 530, and the Knysna 550. This 55-foot size range is actually pretty incredibly crowded right now. It's like 55 is the new 50. Now, as we look across here, you can see that it's the Knysna at 196 square meters that has the largest upwind sail area, followed by the Lagoon at 181, the Royal Cape at 158, and finally the Privilege at 145. Again, in this silhouette, all I had was a straight silhouette of 1.0. You'll remember in 2.0 here, we've got the fly lounge, mid-helm, and vertical forward windows. Moving on now to the cabin top, you can see that it's the Lagoon and the Knysna that have actually something going on up here. Lagoon, of course, is a full flybridge with a full massive lounge up there. It is ginormous. The Knysna has the mid-helm, and they've created a lovely fly lounge, very similar to what Leopard do. They preserved a lot of space for glass ventilated solar panels. And again, this is going to look a little different on 2.0. I don't have a top down on 2.0 yet. This is 1.0, and you'll see the raked front windshields, which you won't have on 2.0. Privilege 510, nothing going on upstairs except for the solar panels. And the same with Majestic, which you'll remember that 530 has those extendable solar panels that double your solar capacity, but it still looks like an armored personnel carrier. Heading into the saloon, the Knysna 550. Now, this is actually a layout from 1.0. This is the 2.0 layout. My apologies. I'm not sure if they're going as customized. Obviously, Knysna is a customized yard, and for the price, you're getting a customized boat for the same price as a production boat in most cases. Now, what I noted when I spoke to them 3 years back on 1.0 was there was a massive amount of customization available. We were even chatting about a galley down. They may or may not still have that level of customization under the new ownership, but regardless, it's a very nice layout. You can see a lot of space in that saloon. You've got the same space as basically the Lagoon 55 has. It's funny, they got the real estate for a forward door and a forward cockpit. I'm not sure why they didn't at least offer it similar to what Privilege 580 does, which I think is brilliant. You have your your cake and eat it too there with either the Circumnavigator, which doesn't have the forward access or forward cockpit, or the Signature, which does. Relatively simple to do with the way these boats are built. The Privilege 510, again, very nice saloon, lots of space in there. I'm not a huge fan of that split kitchen port and lounge. Starboard, they do it. Max Cruise does it. It just seems to me to visually not give you as much space as, say, what Lagoon has done here. The Majestic 530, lots of space in there, but there's a lot going on in that 532. So it does seem a little crowded at times. I think your Knysna 550 is absolutely going to be gorgeous. They've even got beautiful stools, bar stools at the bar there. It's really going to feel nice inside. Heading down into the accommodations, of course, your Lagoon 55 has walk around, 3-side walk around every single berth. Your Privilege has the mother of all owners' berths in the bow that goes hull to hull. I mean, absolutely spectacular. And then it's butt-scoot beds in the aft for the guests. The Majestic 530 with those massive wide hulls. You have 4 aft berths in the aft, but they are full walk-around. And the Knysna has walk-around berths in the bow in this layout. That we're looking at here. Again, you've got a lot of different choice here because it is a custom yacht. So full 3-sided access, and in this layout, it's my preferred. You have a very balanced style forward owner's berth, and then aft beautiful head area, and then you can see the other sides there as well. Moving into the numbers themselves, this is where it gets really, really interesting. So, price along the top line, base euro. You've got the Royal Cape at the most economical at 1.238, followed by the Lagoon at 1.5, followed by the Knysna at 1.6, followed by the Privilege at a significant jump to 2.3. However, our friends in South Africa tend to package a yacht way closer to sail away than our French friends do. I could struggle to find, I don't know, 250 to add on to the Knysna, and I was struggling. So your sail away here is $2 million on the Knysna. Royal Cape, very similar in there's not a lot you need to or want to add on because they come packaged so well. 1.450, but definitely a different class of yacht. Looking at the Lagoon, look at that pop. You're up to $2.5 million. And then the Privilege, you're at 2.7. So the Knysna, you are getting a fully customized blue water cruiser for about $500,000 less than a Lagoon 55. That is staggering. Now, where it really gets interesting is getting down into the numbers here. The Knysna is the longest of the bunch at 55. The waterline is the longest of the bunch at 54.9 or about 55. The beam is the biggest at 29.7. The draft, it's the Royal Cape that takes it at 1.4 meters. Next up, it is, again, the Knysna at 1.5, followed by the Lagoon at 1.55 and the Privilege at 1.57. Heading down into the lightship displacement, this should make you look twice at this. Remember, the Knysna is a 55. The Privilege is a 51, 51-ish. So you're looking here at 19.6 tons for the Knysna, which is the best of the real comparables. The Majestic is at 20 tons, and the Lagoon is at 27.7 tons. So you're going literally 7 tons or 8 tons more on the Lagoon 55 than you are on the Knysna, bearing in mind your hull materials in the Knysna are a higher quality, which we'll have a look at there. The Privilege is at 17 tons on this one. Payload capacity, there weren't very many. It was only the Privilege I could find it for, and that's about 8 tons. Upwind sail area. Of course, it's the Knysna at 196.4 square meters, or 2,112 square feet. Heading down into tankage, it is the Majestic that takes it by a hair. You got 1,200 in fuel and 1,000 in water and 400 in black water. Next up, it's debatable. It's sort of a tie between the Knysna and Lagoon. Knysna is 1,320 liters, and then the Lagoon is 1,100 for fuel, 960 for water, and we don't know what the black water is. Down below, this is an area I'm hoping that you as the audience will put pressure on the manufacturers to standardize some of their specifications and include interior square footage area, exterior square footage area, interior enclosed storage in cubic feet or however you want to do it, liters, I don't care. Exterior lockers, again, in cubic feet, liters. Total fridge capacity in liters, and total freezer capacity in liters. These are imperative liveaboard numbers that we need to see, and very few do it. I will say that our friends at Nautical, bless their hearts, came back to me with all of these numbers. It's not that difficult when you got the CAD drawings. They can do the calculations, but we just haven't put a lot of demand on them, and this is a floating home, so we need to know what size our house is, what size our yard is, and a few of those other tidbits that are important. As we look across the total fridge capacity and freezer capacity, it is the Royal Cape that takes it at 260 liters of fridge and 210 of freezer. The Knysna, we're looking at 160 liters each. And the Privilege, a fair amount smaller than that, looking at 56 liters each. Moving into the technical details, hull material. This is where the Knysna really stands out. So we have here a sandwich composite construction using e-glass, Divinycell composite PVC foam, and vinyl ester resin, epoxy vinyl ester resin. This is a pure vinyl ester boat. Nobody else has it. Everybody else is either pure polyester like the Majestic or a vinyl ester outer layer and polyester balance. And in the case of the Lagoon, you even got balsa there. So you're talking at $2 million about a machine that is pure vinyl ester and foam core. Looking at max factory battery capacity, the Knysna was the only one I could find. And the max capacity there is 33 kilowatt hours. It comes standard, though, with about 23 kilowatt hours. That's pretty staggering. Standard battery bank on the Lagoon is 10 kilowatt hours, Privilege is 4.8, and the Majestic is 15.8. Again, that Royal Cape, if you can get past the armored personnel carrier exterior, is a heck of a deal. But your Knysna, all things considered, I mean, I'd probably run into things in my dinghy as I drove away because I'd be looking back at how beautiful this thing was. The Max Factory Solar, it's the Royal Cape at 6,000 watts. I didn't have the numbers for the Lagoon or the Privilege. Knysna comes in at 2,800, about 3,000 watts. And again, ventilated glass, so far more efficient and durable. Getting into the performance numbers, you see an entire column of green below the Knysna, and these numbers should surprise you and be incredibly good news for a boat of this comfort and customization. Sail area to displacement, indicative of power. It is the Knysna by a long shot at 29.2. The closest one is the Privilege at 22.3. Displacement to hull length, or indicative of heaviness, it is the Knysna, miles below anybody else at 105.8. The next closest one is the Privilege at 152.2. I mean, that's staggering. And here it is, of course, the Kelsall Sailing Performance, or KSP numbers, which is indicative of comparative speed at 10 knots of wind. Look at this, Knysna, 86% of wind speed. The next closest is the Privilege at 71. Then it's the Royal Cape at 69 and the Lagoon at 65. But 86% of wind speed for a 55-foot luxury custom-built vessel that looks so good and has so much comfort and space. It's unbelievable. And remember, pure vinyl ester. This is an amazing vessel. If you're enjoying the content, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and then share the channel with a couple of friends and hit the like button. It's free and really helps the channel. You can also join our crew on Patreon, where you can enjoy ad-free viewing as well as downloads of the Excel specification and PowerPoint layout comparisons while helping the channel for a few dollars a month. You can find a link to the Naval Gazing Camp David Patreon channel in the description below, where you can also click to receive our free ebook and information on some really cool virtual sailing training. And speaking of cool, my friends at CatamaranShow.com have developed an amazing website and database of every catamaran available and scheduled to launch that allows you to do selectable, in-depth comparisons of 4 cats at a time. They are also working on an incredible virtual tour and on-the-fly configurator that provides the option of fully immersive virtual reality with the appropriate 3D goggles. This is an incredible resource for anyone considering a catamaran purchase. Have a look by clicking the link in the description below. Okay, jumping on board. What would Sylvia say? Well, I can tell you what Sylvia would say. She would love this vessel. Who wouldn't? It has your cake and eat it too. Look at this beautiful aft area, lovely cockpit, bearing in mind that what we're looking at here is the 550 1.0 private island, but it is indicative of what you will see in the 550 2.0, with the difference that the front windshields won't be as raked. They'll be vertical, and really the interiors can be so customized, all you can show is an indication of what you will get because you design your own yacht. Heading into the saloon here, you can see the quality materials here, that custom Corian countertop, the molded-in fiddlework, the beautiful custom lattice work on those cupboards, allowing for full airflow and ventilation, the custom stool, the beautiful real wood veneers. Again, absolutely gorgeous at this expansive nav station. We're going to head across here, have a quick look at this beautiful settee and your eating area. And of course, you've got a lovely wine and glass, backlit glasses holder area there, your crystalware. Look at the stools in front of your bar area there in your kitchen. Absolutely gorgeous. Heading into the kitchen, you can see down here the quality of your ovens, knife holders, everything is there. So now we're going to head across to the starboard hull and head down. This is the guest hull. We're going to head forward first, starboard forward. You've got the athwartship berth with full 3-side access, and then here into the head with heated towel racks. I mean, this is oyster stuff. So finally, somebody who's taken on the interior of a catamaran to make it look like an oyster, other than just privilege. But look at the details here, the indirect lighting, that beautiful settee at the foot of your bed, all the diamond stitching. We're going to head across down the hall into the aft starboard guest cabin. Again, full 3-side access, even though it's 4 aft. Look at the beautiful detailed leather work on those little tabs for the drawers there below your bed. Absolute gorgeous detail. Coming back out, you can see the amount of space there that you've got by the bed. Great access. You're not going to be butt scooting or disturbing your wife. Looking at the windows, you've got tons of beautiful light coming in here. You've got ventilation in the roof, ventilation in the upper aft wall, and these beautiful slanted windows that create quite a seascape when you're laying in bed there. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the ventilation up there at the head, right above your head. And all this detail work with all what almost, looks like stone in there. Here is your aft head. Again, beautiful. Tons of ventilation in the ceiling. Everything detailed, looking absolutely beautiful. All the sink detail, the backsplash detail, all of your hardware, absolutely top notch. They execute as they always execute. I was on my first Knysna this year. I was gobsmacked. Absolutely stunning quality and attention to detail. They even had the closet that Tomash has with the custom tools. Now here we are. We've crossed over to the port forward cabin. Again, this is an athwartship. Private island is a 4-cabin layout, so it looks mirror to the starboard side. You've got the built-in fans there, lots of ventilation, lots of airflow. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the handle hardware, allowing you to hop up onto that bed. Beautifully done. There's your access up and across to the forward cabin, because there's two entrances on this side as opposed to just one with a hall on the other side. So we're heading down then into the aft port cabin here. And again, that beautiful settee at the foot of your bed, diamond stitching, beautiful detail, lots of ventilation above your head, in the ceiling, lots of light from those slanted, beautiful windows. It really is a comfortable space, and man, have they used the indirect lighting here to create ambiance. Not to mention, there's not a stitch of fared fiberglass to be seen. You are not living in a plastic boat here as you are in so many catamarans. I don't know, have catamaran builders never seen the inside of a Passport 545? Obviously, Knysna has. Absolutely beautifully done. We're back up into this stunning saloon. Wonderful. Everything looks absolutely gorgeous. Back out now into the cockpit. A little naval gazing here. According to the U.S. Coast Guard's most recent safety report in 2020, recreational boating statistics, when the cause of death was known, 3/4 of fatal accident victims drowned, and the vast majority of them, 86%, weren't wearing a life jacket. Given those sobering numbers, one of the easiest ways to stack the odds in your favor is to find a comfortable life jacket and then put it on and keep it on until the anchor is down or you're back at the dock. The issue is that no one likes to wear life vests because of their bulk, discomfort, heat, movement restriction, and the inconvenience of multiple straps, zippers, and buckles. So buying fancy PFDs with crotch straps and tons of features may sound good, but if all those wonderful features add to more coverage, which equals more heat, zippers, weight, bulk, and an inconvenient way of donning the tech, people will naturally hesitate to put them on and will wear them less. As a result, all those features in the world won't save your crew if they're not wearing the vest when they hit the water. What you need is the smallest, lightest, easiest to put on vest that still has the durability needed for the open ocean and a few basic must-have features specifically for sailing. This really came home to me when I took my Royal Yachting Association course. And our captain, bless his heart, definitely had all the gear. He was sponsored by Mustang, obviously, and we all had these inflatable life vests. But man, putting the things on was an issue. And then taking them off just to hit the head was a challenge. And as a result, without his disapproving eye, I don't think I'd have worn it that much. Well, Mustang Survival HIT, or Hydrostatic Inflatable PFD with a sailing harness, just might be the balance of everything you need. The HIT Inflatable with harnesses was designed around a new technology that provides reliable inflation and confidence in extreme maritime environments through the integration of hydrostatic inflator technology, which will automatically inflate the PFD upon 4 inches of water immersion to self-right an unconscious wearer to the face-up position. The vest can also be manually inflated by pulling the activation cord. When inflated, the PFD provides 38 pounds of buoyancy, which is about 10 pounds more than many, more than double that of standard foam vests, which significantly reduces mouth emergence in rough water. The high-visibility fluorescent yellow-green inflatable cell, marine-grade reflective material, strobe light, and the safety whistle improve visibility in rescue conditions. There's one tidbit of tech that I would add to the vest if you are short-handed sailing and there are solo night watches, but we'll look at that next time. Okay, back on board, we head from the cockpit up to the helm area, and here I've got, because of course this is a future yacht episode, this actual helm position with the Sky Lounge has not been built yet, so there are no photos of it. But here is an artist rendering, and you've got the mid-helm, bulkhead mounted with stair access then up to a beautiful fly lounge. Now, you also have significant solar panel exposure here. You can also put another one on top, the hard bimini, if that's what you elect, over your helm position. You could also sacrifice the two on the port forward side there and replace them with a sun pad if you so desire. The helm itself, top quality materials, top quality gear, all standard Knysna, absolutely outstanding. So there is the Knysna 550, flagship of the Knysna line, an incredible custom yacht with oyster-like interior and a pure vinyl ester hull with KSP ratings that put it way up there in any kind of racing situation you want to get into. Okay, heading into the pre-owned comparables. What do we compare this with? Well, first up, we've got a 2017 Lagoon 560. So that's about a 5-6-year-old vessel. It's huge. They are looking for 1.4 million against our estimated sail away of 2 million USD. This is a pure taste thing. If you are looking for space and you're a massive space and you're willing to sacrifice performance, the Lagoon here would be your ticket. For 1.4 million, you'll save 600. If, however, you want a much higher level of finish on the inside, you want customizability, you want a better quality of hull and vinyl ester, you want performance that'll have you keeping up with the Outre-Mers and the Sea Winds and the various ones out there, then the Knysna's your ticket, and you would easily pay the 400. Next up, we have the, speaking of performance, we've got something a little different for you. We got a 2015 Broad Blue Rapier 550. So if you're not familiar with this boat, I would suggest you have a quick look at it. It's very innovative, very avant-garde, not necessarily my cup of tea, still with the butt-scoot beds in the aft, but a very interesting hull position. It's a high-quality boat. They're asking for 1.268. That's a lot of coin in difference, but it is a much older boat. You're looking at a 7-year-old boat here. I would go with the Knysna if I had the cash. Next up is a Bally 5.4. So 2021, we're looking at a two-year-old boat here. They're asking 1.6. There's absolutely no question in my mind. I would sell something to get the extra 400, and I'd do the Knysna. It's just that different a boat. You're getting all of your cake and eating it too, and able to race and all that good stuff. No question. Okay, moving into monohull heresy. What in the world do we compare this baby to on the monohull side? Well, as you know, we add 20% of length to equate to the same living space. And we've come up first with a 2019 4-year-old Jeanneau 64 at 1.6. I would, again, I'd go with the 400, and I'd take the Knysna over this. Just comfort, luxury, level of finish, customization, it's worth it. Next up, we're looking at a CNB, a 2018, so 4-year-old boat, 66. They're looking 1.9, not even a question. It would be the Knysna. Next up is a 2018 Halberg Grassi 64. Absolutely gorgeous vessel. They're looking 2.1. For my money and what I want to do, the Knysna is going to be more comfortable, going to go faster. It will have, I would say, almost the same quality of interior, if not equivalent. So I'd pay, 127 less and get my customized boat, brand new. Next up is the Dave score. So how did she do? Well, flying down the list, you can see that green line showed up really soon. And as we look here, I mean, this is a gorgeous vessel. It is up there with the big boys, the Exquisites, the Portofinos, the Privileges, the whole thing. It's all up there for you. Elegance, we're looking at 9 on the exterior, 9 on the interior. Comfort, we're looking 9 on the exterior, 9 on the interior. Quality, definite 9. Performance, an 8, so it outperforms the other two. Looking at Lazy Sailor, 7. I'm not sure why I did that 7. Well, yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a 7. Condo, 9 for sure. Geek is an 8, and value for the money, definitely an 8. It would, I would say, it would squeeze out the Exquisite for as far as value for the money. I would actually put this just equivalent to the Exquisite 60 solar sail. In our art of the region this week, our vineyard also has an art gallery at Glen Carlo. The gallery houses a collection of contemporary pop and modern art by South African artists. Mediums are as diverse as installation, photography, contemporary embroidery, and ceramic contrasts with more traditional painting and sculpture. Wandering through the gallery's list of artists, I came upon Pauline Guter and her 2020 oil on jute painting, Power Play. Based on a homestead in the Free State, Pauline Guter's is a world consumed by hardship, culling, classing. A term is seamlessly applied to the rating of bulls as it is to women in a local reality show in which a farmer searches for a bride. Guter laughs. She is no card-carrying feminist. What drives her is the bondage of man and beast. Her paintings, many vast in scale, are all about bodies, birds, monkeys, bulls, maggots, hyenas, vultures. Austerity clings to her vision of our mortal coil, in which life begets life in an eternal, monstrous, and sublime return. While others paint pictures as objects, Guter draws us into a grinding, vital world in which the physical and primal are one. Ochre, or some bleached yellow, is the dominant tonal register, the color of Africa's arid zones and dust storms. The painterly effect is gritty, the mark-making feverish, as though control was secondary to a loss of control. We see what she has made, a rooster like a morning sunburst astride an arid plain, a monkey giving us the finger, 2 bulls at war, a gutted bird with claws akimbo like the walking dead. Her paintings are never merely representational. Instead, we are driven into life's churn. It is the sublime which Guter inherits and translates in an African world. For her, however, it is the regenerative power of darkness, wired through German expressionism, that remains a dominant force in South African painting. This raw-knuckled, expressive inclination has everything to do with the irresistibility of terror. In painting in particular, it is a technique that defines our subconscious DNA, the bastardy of our culture, the ruinous legacy, and the stricken awe in the face of our mortal coil, which is why Pauline Guter is beast, man, heart, shadow, death, and life. Well, that was a little intense, but there you have it. You've had your Wine Waves art and idea for one more week. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Ever since I saw the Knysna 500 for the first time at Annapolis this year, I've been on fire for this brand. I think they do an utterly incredible job. It was, the only thing holding them back on the 500 was a rather dated design. The interior was spectacular. However, they now have a vessel that has as spectacular an exterior as it does an interior, as you've seen. Finally, somebody's taken a lesson out of Oyster's book and made the interior of a catamaran absolutely gorgeous, somebody other than Privilege. They've done this with a pure vinyl ester hull, something that Privilege hasn't done, and with light ship numbers and sail area that combine for KSP performance numbers that are way up there with the big players. So this really is a cake and eat it too vessel. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Stick around. We're back next week for something interesting that will really light your fire again. We'll talk to you then. Cheers.